Welcome back to the channel, fellow coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and unlocking the secrets behind some of the most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever discovered in the United States. These aren't your ordinary 1-cent coins. These are ultra-rare, jaw-droppingly valuable treasures that could make you a millionaire if you're lucky enough to find one in your pocket change, coin jar, or inherited collection. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and prepare to be amazed as we count down the top 6 most valuable rare USA Lincoln 1-cent wheat pennies worth millions of dollars. Today, we've got a story that will blow your mind. We're talking about a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, that could be worth as much as $99,181 in today's coin market. It's the 1940 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat cent, and its journey from pocket change to nearly $100,000 is absolutely incredible. So sit tight, hit that like button, and let's dive deep into the remarkable story behind this copper masterpiece. Let's start with the basics. The year was 1940. The United States was emerging from the Great Depression and staring down the road to World War II. Money was tight, and every penny mattered, literally. That year, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. These coins were produced primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, which, as many of you know, doesn't carry a mint mark. So when we say no mint mark 1940 penny, we're talking about the version minted in Philly. Now here's the thing, over 586 million of these pennies were made at the Philadelphia Mint in 1940. That's a lot. So how did one end up being worth almost $100,000? Let's find out. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny was composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, measuring 19 millimeters in diameter and weighing about 3.11 grams. It features the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the same design that had been in use since 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. On the reverse, we have the classic wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E pluribus unum, a timeless emblem of unity. But here's where things get interesting. Not all coins are created equal, even if they were minted by the millions. Some were struck with errors. Others remained in pristine condition, tucked away and never touched by human hands. And those, my friends, are the pennies that collectors are willing to pay a small fortune for. There are 3 major factors that can skyrocket the value of a 1940 no-mint mark penny. Let's break them down. Number 1. Condition coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS60 to MS70 representing mint state or uncirculated coins. If you're lucky enough to have a 1940 Lincoln cent graded MS67 red, you could be looking at tens of thousands of dollars. And yes, one recently sold for $99,181 at auction. Why? Because it was virtually flawless, with its original red copper luster shining just as it did over 80 years ago. Number 2. Rarity in high grades. Even though millions were minted, very few have survived in pristine condition. Most went through decades of wear and tear. But those untouched by time? They are ultra-rare and fiercely sought after by elite collectors. Combine rarity with perfect condition, and you've got the recipe for a coin that could buy you a luxury car, or even a house. Number 3. Errors and varieties. While not common, some 1940 pennies display fascinating mint errors like double die obverse, DDO, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, though that's more relevant to the Denver and San Francisco mints. If you happen to find a 1940 no-mint mark penny with such an error, and it's in top condition, the value could climb even higher. So how do you know if your 1940 penny is worth a fortune? Step 1. Check for the absence of a mint mark below the date. That confirms it was struck in Philadelphia. Step 2. Examine the coin's color. If it's a bright copper red and has full details with no wear, that's a great sign. Step 3. Look for any unusual features, doubling, misalignment, extra metal, or strange inscriptions. Step 4. Get it professionally graded. Trusted companies like PCGS or NGC can assign a numerical grade that determines its market value. Remember, a coin in average circulated condition might fetch you 15 cents to $1.50, not bad for a penny. But in uncirculated red gem condition, you're looking at serious money. And again, one top-tier coin sold for a jaw-dropping $99,181. Think about it. A penny, lost in a drawer or passed from hand to hand for decades, could end up being one of the most valuable coins in the country. That's the magic of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. It's history you can hold in your hands. And every coin has a story, just like the 1940 no-mint Mark Lincoln wheat penny. So, have you checked your pocket change lately? Maybe there's a copper treasure just waiting to be discovered. Don't forget to share this video with fellow collectors and comment below if you have a 1940 penny, or any other rare coin, that you think could be worth a fortune. And hey, while you're at it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video about rare coins that could change your life. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change and your dreams in the millions. This is your channel name, signing off. Happy collecting! Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to our channel, where we uncover the hidden gold in your pockets and piggy banks. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell because today, we're going deep into the story of a legendary coin that might just be sitting in your change jar, the 1941 no-mint Mark Lincoln wheat penny. A simple 1-cent coin that's now worth up to a jaw-dropping $74,771. Let's take it back to the year 1941, a time when the world was on the brink of war, gasoline cost around 12 cents per gallon, and Franklin D. Roosevelt was the President of the United States. It was also the year this iconic Lincoln wheat penny was minted in massive quantities. But little did anyone know, some of these coins would become extremely valuable decades later. So, what makes the 1941 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent so special today? First things first, the no-mint Mark version of this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike the Denver, D, and San Francisco, S mints, Philadelphia traditionally didn't place a mint mark on its coins at the time. So, when you see a 1941 penny without a mint mark right below the date, you're likely holding one minted in Philly, and that's your first clue to check closely. Now let's talk about the design. The obverse, or front side, features the bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, are tucked subtly on the reverse side beneath the wheat stalks. Yes, those two iconic wheat ears are where this penny gets its name, the wheat cent. The reverse proudly reads 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum at the top. Simple, strong, and timeless. Here's something incredible. Over 887 million of the 1941 no-mint Mark Lincoln cents were produced. Yes, that's right, nearly 888 million. So you might be wondering, how could a coin that was made in such large quantities possibly be worth tens of thousands of dollars today? Well, the answer lies in condition, rarity of errors, and collector demand. Let's break that down. Coin collectors and grading experts use a scale called the Sheldon Grading Scale, from 1 to 70, to rate a coin's condition. A heavily worn penny might be valued at just a few cents, but a pristine, uncirculated 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with a grade of MS 67 or higher? That's where things get interesting. These high-grade examples are extremely rare, especially when they show full details, strong luster, and zero scratches or nicks. In fact, a superb gem example of the 1941 no-mint Mark Lincoln wheat penny graded MS 68 red by PCGS or NGC recently made headlines when it was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $74,771. Yes, 1 cent turned into almost $75,000. That's the magic of numismatics. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, going through Grandpa's coin jar, and you stumble across a shiny 1941 penny that looks almost brand new. You get it graded, and boom, it comes back as MS 67 Plus or MS 68 red. Congratulations, you might be holding a 5-figure treasure in your hand. But wait, it gets better. Some of these coins also have mint errors that make them even more valuable. Watch out for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even lamination errors. These variations are highly prized by collectors and can drive up the value significantly. A 1941 wheat penny with a strong double die obverse, where Lincoln's face or the date appears doubled, could fetch thousands more depending on condition. If you think you might have a valuable 1941 wheat penny, your first step is to preserve it. Don't clean it, don't rub it, and don't store it in a humid area. Then, get it professionally graded by a trusted third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. This verification is crucial if you want to sell the coin at auction or to a serious buyer. The demand for rare wheat pennies has exploded in recent years, thanks to increasing interest in coin collecting, investment-grade coins, and YouTube videos just like this one shining a spotlight on their hidden worth. Some collectors specialize exclusively in Lincoln wheat cents from 1909 to 1958, and among them, the high-grade 1941 no-mint mark coin is a sought-after prize. And it's not just U.S. buyers. Worldwide collectors, from Canada to Europe to Asia, are diving into the Lincoln wheat penny series. It's a piece of Americana, of World War II-era history, and of pure copper craftsmanship. Remember, these coins were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. That rich red copper shine is part of what makes these coins visually stunning when preserved. How to check your change. So now the big question, how do you find one? Here are the tips. Check your change daily. Examine every wheat penny you come across. Look for that 1941 date. No mint mark. Then check for condition. Is it still shiny? Does it have sharp details? Or is it worn smooth? If you think it's in great shape, hold on to it. You could be sitting on a future fortune. Here's your checklist for potential 5-figure 1941 Lincoln pennies. Heavy check mark, no mint mark below the date. Heavy check mark, strong red copper color. Look for RD designation. Heavy check mark, minimal wear. Look for mint state. MS, condition. Heavy check mark, no scratches, spots, or discoloration. Heavy check mark, possible doubling or other error. Heavy check mark, professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Heavy check mark, stored safely in a coin holder or slab. And there you have it, folks, the complete story of the 1941 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. From humble beginnings as a 1-cent coin in wartime America to a highly sought-after collector's gem worth up to $74,771 today. It's amazing what a little copper and history can be worth when preserved with care and discovered at the right time. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and rare values, smash that like button, drop a comment below if you've ever found a 1941 wheat penny. And don't forget to subscribe for more incredible coin videos every week. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next penny be worth a fortune. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and highly sought-after coins in American numismatic history, the 1945 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. A seemingly common coin that has shocked the world with its current market value of up to $48,199 in pristine condition. That's right, a 1-cent coin. Minted in the aftermath of World War II, now worth a small fortune. So if you've got an old penny stashed away in a jar, drawer, or shoebox, you might want to check it closely. You could be holding onto a rare and valuable piece of American history. In this video, we'll uncover the history, the features, the errors to look for, and most importantly, why this coin is worth so much money today. So sit tight, hit that like button, and let's begin our journey into the incredible story of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in a significant time period, just as World War II was coming to an end. This was a time when the entire world was recovering from one of the most catastrophic events in history. During the war, copper was a critical metal used in ammunition and military equipment. As a result, the U.S. Mint experimented with alternative materials for coins, like the famous 1943 steel cent. By 1945, copper usage in coinage was largely restored, but the war's economic pressures still lingered. The Lincoln wheat penny continued to be produced in large quantities, but not all coins were created equal. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were the three primary mints operating at the time. The 1945 no-mint mark version was produced in Philadelphia. Because the Philadelphia Mint didn't use mint marks on pennies during that time, any 1945 penny without a mint mark automatically came from this historic facility. Let's take a closer look at the coin's design. On the obverse, we see the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's image had been featured on the penny since 1909, commemorating his 100th birthday. The inscriptions include, "In God We Trust." Above his head, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1945. On the right. On the reverse side, you'll find the classic wheat ears design, also by Brenner. Two stylized wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the top we have E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one. The wheat design was used from 1909 until 1958, making these coins iconic and easily recognizable. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny had a massive mintage. Over 1 billion coins were produced in total, with the Philadelphia Mint alone striking approximately 1,040,515,000 of them. With such high numbers, most of these coins were circulated and heavily worn down over time. However, despite the large mintage, finding a 1945 no-mint mark penny in mint state, especially MS-67 or higher, is extremely rare. Why? Because nearly all of them were used in daily commerce. Only a few were set aside by collectors, and even fewer were preserved in flawless condition. That's where the real value comes in. Let's talk money. So what's this coin actually worth? In circulated condition, a 1945 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is worth about 5 to 50 cents, still more than face value, but not a jackpot. However, when it comes to coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value climbs fast. In MS-60 to MS-63, the value ranges from $3 to $25. In MS-64 to MS-65, it jumps to around $50 to $125. At MS-66, prices range between $250 and $400. Now here's the kicker. A verified MS-67 red RD 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark has fetched prices of $10,000 to $48,199 at major auctions. That's because finding a coin that old, with full original red luster, perfect strike, no scratches, and pristine surfaces, is nearly impossible. These high-grade examples are often graded by services like PCGS or NGC, and they're the ones collectors fight over. Now, if you're checking your collection, keep an eye out for errors. They can skyrocket the coin's value even more. Some of the rare and valuable errors found on the 1945 Lincoln penny include double die obverse DDO. Look closely at the lettering in Liberty or In God We Trust. Doubling in these areas is a clear sign of value. Off-center strikes. Coins that were struck off-center by 5% to 90% can sell for hundreds of dollars, depending on how much of the design is still visible. BIE error. A small die break between the B and E in Liberty creates what looks like an extra I. These are collectible and often sell for $10, $100. Lamination errors, caused by metal flakes peeling from the surface of the coin. These are rare and sought after by error collectors. So why does this coin matter so much to collectors? Because it's not just about the metal or age, it's about the story. The 1945 penny represents a post-war America. A country coming back from conflict, rebuilding its economy, and setting the stage for decades of prosperity. Collectors also love wheat pennies because they mark the golden era of American copper coinage, before the designs changed, before zinc cores, and before mass modernization. Holding one of these coins, especially a pristine 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny, is like holding a tangible piece of history. A snapshot of life in the mid-20th century. So there you have it, the incredible journey of the 1945 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. From billions in circulation to only a handful of pristine survivors, this penny has carved a unique legacy in the world of rare coins. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a curious enthusiast, or just someone who stumbled upon an old penny, always check the date, the condition, and the mint mark. because you never know. Your 1945 wheat penny could be worth a fortune. And remember, the one in MS67 red condition? It's been sold for a jaw-dropping $48,199, making it one of the most valuable post-war wheat cents ever discovered. So grab that magnifying glass, dig into your coin jar, and keep looking. The next hidden treasure could be right in your hand. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next rare coin spotlight. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1945 penny in your collection or if you've ever come across a rare wheat cent. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, and may your next coin find be a jackpot. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history. Today, we have a truly exciting episode for all coin collectors and enthusiasts, as we dive deep into the incredible story, value, and market demand of the 1950-60 mint Mark Lincoln wheat 1-cent penny coin. That's right, the 1950-60 wheat penny, a coin you might just find tucked away in an old coin jar, could be worth as much as $77,299 today. So, buckle up and get ready, because we're about to uncover everything you need to know about this small but mighty piece of American numismatic treasure. Let's start with a little history. The 1950-60 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is denoted by the small D mint mark just below the date on the obverse, or front, of the coin. Over 1.0 billion, yes, that's over 1 billion, of these coins were struck in 1956. Specifically, the Denver Mint produced approximately 1,098,201,100 of them. With such a high mintage, you might be wondering, why would any of these be worth more than a penny, let alone over $77,000? The answer lies in rarity by condition, unique mint errors, and exceptional grading. The obverse of the coin features the famous right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VB, can be found on the reverse of earlier coins but were later removed and later added back in small form on the shoulder of Lincoln. The reverse of the 1950-60 penny still bears the iconic wheat ears design, which had been in use since 1909 and was finally replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1950-60 penny so incredibly valuable in certain cases. While the average circulated 1950-60 penny may only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars depending on condition, there are specific examples of this coin that have been certified by top grading companies like PCGS and NGC in near-perfect mint state, MS67 or higher, condition that have fetched astronomical prices. Combine that with rare die errors like double die obverse, DDO, repunched mint marks, RPM, off-center strikes, and BI errors, and you've got a coin that serious collectors will pay top dollar to own. Take, for example, a 1950-60 Lincoln penny graded MS67 Plus read by PCGS. This coin was not only in flawless condition, but also retained its brilliant red luster, which is critical for value. Coins are generally graded and categorized by color: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. Red coins are the most valuable, as they closely resemble their original appearance straight from the mint. One such example sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $77,299, setting a high benchmark for this particular date and mint mark combination. Let's break down the types of errors and why they matter. First up, repunched mint marks, RPMs, occur when the mint mark is punched into the die more than once, slightly off alignment. These are highly sought after by error collectors and can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Next, double die obverse show noticeable doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's features, and they are particularly rare for the 1950-60 series. Then you have off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during minting, creating a crescent-like blank space on the coin's surface. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. But even without errors, it's the coin's pristine condition and rarity in high grades that make it a standout. Coins that have been well preserved, never circulated, carefully stored, and free from blemishes, are extremely rare, especially considering the passage of nearly 7 decades since minting. The market for such coins is highly competitive. Collectors, investors, and numismatists bid fiercely at auctions for the finest known specimens, which is exactly what drove one of these beautiful 1956 DeWitt pennies to reach $77,299 at auction. You may be asking yourself, how can I tell if I have one of these valuable coins? First, check the date and look for the D mint mark under the year 1956. Next, inspect the color and condition. If it still has a shiny, reddish hue and minimal scratches or wear, you may have a red RD version. Then, get a magnifying glass and inspect for any doubling or signs of errors. If it looks promising, your next step is to get the coin professionally graded by a trusted third-party grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. The cost of grading can range from $20 to $60 depending on the service, but it's absolutely worth it if you think your coin might be rare. In recent years, the interest in rare Lincoln wheat pennies has surged, making coins like the 1950-60 mint mark highly desirable for both new and seasoned collectors. Not only are they pieces of American history, but they're also tangible assets that can appreciate over time. The story of a simple 1-cent coin turning into a $77,299 collectible is what makes this hobby so exciting and rewarding. Before we wrap up, here's a quick checklist to evaluate your 1950-60 penny. Look for the D mint mark below the date. Check for a bright red luster. Red RD versions are the most valuable. Use a magnifier to search for repunched mint marks, double dies, or off-center strikes. Check for clean, sharp details and absence of wear. Mint state grade is ideal. If you suspect high value, send it for grading immediately. So there you have it, an ordinary coin with extraordinary potential. The 1950-60 Lincoln wheat cent may be easy to find in general circulation, but finding one in top condition or with rare errors could change your financial future. It's a shining example of why you should always check your pocket change, coin jars, and inherited collections. Who knows, you might just be holding a tiny copper fortune. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or fascinating, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on coins that could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and happy collecting. Hey there, coin collectors and history buffs. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the hidden treasures sitting in your pocket change. Today, we're talking about an extraordinary coin, the 1958 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat 1-cent penny. And believe it or not, this humble little coin could be worth up to $88,283 today. That's right, almost $90,000 for a single penny. So sit back, hit that like button, and let's uncover the incredible story, rarity, and value behind this seemingly ordinary coin that could make you rich. First, let's begin with a little background on the Lincoln wheat penny series. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person on the obverse. From 1909 through 1958, the reverse of the penny featured 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words, 1 cent, which is why collectors call them wheat pennies. These coins have become legendary among numismatists and collectors across the country. Now, fast forward to the year 1958. This was the last year that the United States Mint struck the Lincoln wheat penny before transitioning to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. That shift marked the end of a 50-year era, making the 1958 issues historically significant on their own. But here's where things get very interesting. Although hundreds of millions of 1958 pennies were minted, a very small number of era coins and high-grade specimens are now worth a fortune. And today, we're focusing on one of the rarest varieties, the 1958 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny, and why one of these has sold for as much as $88,283 in today's market. So what exactly makes a 1958 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny so valuable? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about mint marks. In 1958, pennies were struck at two different mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Denver feature a small D under the date, while coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark at all. The vast majority of the 1958 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, over 252 million coins to be exact. So at first glance, it doesn't sound like this coin should be rare at all, right? Well, here's the twist. Although the regular 1958 no-mint mark pennies are quite common, the true gems are those in perfect, uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Even more rare are varieties with double die errors. That's where things get insanely valuable. But even without such errors, some near-perfect condition coins have stunned the numismatic world by fetching enormous prices at auction.in 2018. An ultra-rare 1958 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny graded MS67 Plus read by PCGS sold for a jaw-dropping $88,283 in a public auction. That's right. A penny sold for almost $90,000 because of its pristine condition and brilliant red luster. These coins are so rare because almost all of the 1958 wheat pennies went into circulation and quickly suffered wear and damage. Finding a flawless example with vibrant original color and full strike is like finding a needle in a haystack. So how can you tell if you have one of these ultra-rare and valuable 1958 pennies? First, pull out your magnifying glass and examine the date. If it reads 1958 with no mint mark underneath, you have a Philadelphia issue. Now check the reverse. It should still have the classic wheat stalks. If you see the Lincoln Memorial instead, then you're looking at a 1959 or later penny. Next, check the coin's condition. Is the coin bright red in color with no signs of wear? Do the details on Lincoln's hair, coat, and the wheat stalks look crisp and sharp? If the answer is yes, you may be holding on to a very high-grade example. To really know for sure, though, you'll want to send your coin to a professional grading service. Only a coin that's certified mint state 67 or higher with full red coloration, designated as RD, has a chance of reaching the 5-figure and 6-figure mark. Coins graded MS65 red can still fetch hundreds or thousands, but the truly rare air begins at MS67 and above. And what about errors or varieties? While there's no widely confirmed double die error for the 1958 no-mint mark penny, collectors are always on the lookout for anomalies like die cracks, off-center strikes, and planchet errors. These can increase the value significantly depending on the type and visibility of the error. So now you're probably wondering, should you go hunting for wheat pennies? The answer is absolutely yes. These coins are still out there, in old piggy banks, coin jars, estate sales, flea markets, and even circulation. People often overlook pennies, but the truth is, you could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. And here's a bonus tip. Always check your 1958 pennies, especially if they look shiny or new. If you see one that looks almost perfect, keep it safe, handle it with care, and consider sending it for grading. That tiny 1-cent coin might just pay off big time. Let's recap. The 1958 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny was the last of the wheat cent series. Over 252 million were minted in Philadelphia. But perfect condition examples are ultra-rare coins graded MS67 Plus red have sold for up to $88 to $83. Always check for condition, color, and details. Get your coins graded for the best chance at big money. And that's the story of the legendary 1958 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny, a coin with humble beginnings and a breathtaking ending. Don't underestimate what's hiding in your change jar. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin collecting content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting! Hey coin collectors and treasure hunters! Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into the pockets of history and shine a light on the hidden gems that could be sitting in your change jar right now. Today's spotlight is on one incredibly rare and valuable coin, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that looks ordinary but could make you $89,999 richer. That's right, just one little penny could change your life. So grab your magnifying glasses, sit tight, and let's uncover the mystery, value, and rich history behind this iconic coin. Segment 1: The historical background of the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Let's travel back in time to the year 1942. The United States was deep in the midst of World War II. Resources were being conserved for the war effort. Copper, used for pennies, was a critical material for ammunition and military machinery. While the famous steel penny didn't debut until 1943, the 1942 penny still has a fascinating story. Minted during a time of national transformation and global conflict, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny holds not just monetary value, but a historical one. It symbolizes America's resilience and the sacrifices of its people during the war era. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features President Abraham Lincoln, just as it had since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Now, most 1942 pennies were made from standard copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. However, not all were created equal. The key here is in the mint mark, or rather, the lack of it. Segment 2: No mint mark? What does that mean? If your 1942 Lincoln penny doesn't have a mint mark, it means it was minted in Philadelphia, which typically did not use mint marks at that time. While over 657 million of these pennies were struck in Philadelphia, the vast majority are worth only a few cents in circulated condition. But a rare handful, those with certain features, errors, and exceptional preservation, can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And yes, one of them is valued today at a jaw-dropping $89,999. So what sets that ultra-rare example apart? Let's break it down. Segment 3: Rare features and varieties that make it valuable. There are several reasons why a 1942 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat Penny might be worth a fortune. Here's what collectors and experts look for. Condition/grade. The number one factor in any coin's value is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, mint state coin. A 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny that's been preserved in mint state 67 plus red, RD, condition can fetch thousands at auction. The coin valued at $89,999 is likely one of these, a blazing red, untouched by circulation, and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Die errors and varieties. Error coins are like the unicorns of the coin world. Some 1942 wheat pennies exhibit double die obverse, DDO, where the date or lettering appears doubled. Others may have off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or die cracks. These minting errors increase demand and skyrocket value. Even without a mint mark, a dramatic error can make a huge difference. Color classification: red, red-brown. Brown coins are also categorized by color: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. Red coins are the most desirable, especially when it comes to older pennies. The brilliant red luster means the coin hasn't oxidized and retains its original copper sheen. A 1942 no-mint mark penny graded MS67RD is a top-tier investment piece. Low population in high grades. Even though hundreds of millions were minted, only a tiny fraction exist in high mint state grades today. That's because most were spent, circulated, and handled roughly. A coin surviving in pristine condition for over 80 years is extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for such specimens. Segment 4: Record-breaking sales and market value. Let's talk numbers. Most circulated 1942 no-mint mark wheat pennies are only worth between 3 to 50 cents, depending on where. In slightly better condition, maybe a few dollars. But uncirculated versions can bring in $50 to $200, depending on grade. Now here's where it gets wild. The highest graded examples, especially those graded MS67RD and verified by PCGS, have sold for $85,000 to $89,999 at public auctions. That's almost $90,000 for a penny. This record-breaking price reflects not only the rarity and grade of the coin, but also collector demand and historical significance. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of American history preserved in perfect form. Segment 5: How to identify one in your collection. So how can you tell if you have a valuable 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark? Check the date carefully. Make sure it's clearly 1942. Look under the date. If there's no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia. Examine the color. Is it bright red, reddish brown, or brown? A red coin is more valuable. Inspect the condition. Are there scratches, wear, or shiny, uncirculated luster? Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling or unusual markings. If you think you have something special, the next step is to have it graded by a reputable coin grading company like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A professional grade can drastically increase your coin's value. Segment 6. Final thoughts and encouragement. Imagine stumbling upon a coin that's been lying in a jar, passed down through generations, or found in a roll of old pennies, and learning that it's worth nearly $90,000. That's the magic of coin collecting. The 1942 no mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny is a perfect example of how ordinary coins can have extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, always pay attention to those old pennies, especially the ones from the 1940s. Who knows, the next big find could be sitting right in your palm. Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, give it a big thumbs up and share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another rare coin reveal. Have a rare coin you want us to cover? Drop it in the comments below. And remember, keep checking your pocket change. Your treasure might just be one penny away. See you in the next video.